friends, Sarah here with Boho Stitchery, and it is Monday, so it's time for Make and Knit Monday. So if you want to learn how to knit, grab some needles and some yarn and join me for Making It Monday. Hey friends, Sarah here. Thanks for stopping by. Today I have a really fun stitch in store for you. I'm going to teach you guys how to knit the Granite Stitch. And this is a 4-row repeat, but don't worry if you're a beginner or a newbie to knitting. This is very beginner friendly, very easy, so don't let those 4 rows intimidate you. These are all stitches that we have covered here on the channel at one point or another. So to do this, you are going to know how to need to knit. Just do the basic knit stitch, which is the same as garter stitch. You're going to need to know how to knit 2 together, how to KFB, which stands for knit front and back. And you're also going to need to know how to purl, but like I said, don't worry, I'm going to go over all these in the video. So let's get started. Go ahead and grab your needles and some yarn, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay friends, I am back, and as you can see here, I've already done just a small swatch before I started recording, just so you guys can get an idea of what this pattern looks like. This is the Granite Stitch, and it's worked over an even number of stitches, so as long as you have an even number of stitches when you cast on, you'll be just fine. Now I will say, as you can see on the edge here, it does kind of leave a rough, not really straight or smooth edge, which I'm not crazy about that. I like a nice straight smooth edge, but you could always cast on a couple extra stitches for your edging. And what I mean by that is, so if you were going to make something like a blanket where you wanted kind of nice smooth edges, you could cast on like, I don't know, 2, 4, 6, whatever, you know, any number you want at the beginning and at the end. And then that way it would help keep your edges straight, and then just don't start your repeat until you get, you know, XYZ number of stitches in, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's the only thing I could say that I don't really care about this pattern, is that it's leaves kind of a rough edge. But anyway, like I said, this is a really pretty pattern overall, though very lacy. I think this would make a really pretty lacy wrap or something, especially for summer, because it's pretty lightweight, it's pretty airy, there's some holes in it. And if you use like a thinner yarn, or if you used needles that were quite a bit bigger than what your yarn recommends, you'd get a really drapey effect. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to pick up where I left off here. If I can find my other needle. There it is. So the first row, it says to knit all stitches. So that's incredibly basic. That's very beginner friendly. So we're just going to go ahead and knit all the way to the end. That's all you do, is just knit, knit, knit. And I'm going to pause this because I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch me knit all the way to the end, but go ahead and finish knitting all the way to the end of your first row, and I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, so I did my first row repeat again, so I just knit all the way across. Now we're going to turn our work. And row 2 says knit 2 together. So this is why it is important to make sure you cast on an even number of stitches, because you have to have pairs. We're going to be knitting 2, 2, 2, 2. We're going to be knitting them all together. And so if you need a refresher, to knit 2 together, it's exactly like it sounds. You're literally going to go into your second stitch, put your needle in, and you're going to go into both stitches just to knit them, and you're just going to knit them together like they're one stitch. And now we have one stitch where we had 2. So same thing, go into the next 2, knit them together. So I'll go ahead, I don't have that many stitches on my needle here. I think I cast it on 16, so I will just go ahead and finish knitting with you guys on camera. And so this is where I think extra stitches, if you wanted an edging, would be nice, because you just finish your pattern, and then if I had like 4 or 5 stitches, I just knit those like normal, and it keeps your edges really straight. But if you're not picky like me and you don't care if it's all wonky on the edges, then by all means don't do that. And so that was row 2, so we knitted 2 together. And now you can see, so I started out with 16 stitches. I have 2, 4, 6, 8. So it literally cut my stitches in half because we knitted 2 together. And now row 3, I would say row 3 is the trickiest row, but it's really not tricky at all. it's KFB, which stands for knit front and back. So you're going to go into your stitch, knit, but don't pull the stitch off. You're going to twist your work around, and then you're going to knit it again through the back of it. And now we've just made 2 stitches where there was 1. So we're basically increasing our count back to what it was by doing this. So we knit 2 together, you cut it in half, KFB, you're increasing back to where you were. So we'll just continue this, knit front and back all the way across. Now I would think this would take a little bit longer if you were making something wider like a blanket, but with this I only cast it on 16 stitches, so it doesn't take very long. But it still would be pretty for a blanket, I think. Or sweater even. I mean, if you wanted to do like a boxy sweater, I think that would be a neat pattern. So now we should have 16 stitches again. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. All right, that was row 3. Now row 4, we're supposed to purl. Whoops. We're supposed to purl all the stitches. And I would say that's my least favorite thing to do as far as knitting is purling. I'm not a big fan. I don't know why. It's not really hard to do. It's just not my favorite stitch. Do you guys have any stitches that you really do not care for as far as knitting? Comment below. Or is there any that you really love that you just absolutely like to do? You guys can put that in the comment box. I'd be interested to see how many dislike purling or what's your favorite stitches. I would say just anything where I can mostly just knit, like garter stitch is my favorite. It's simple, it's quick. Okay. So that is it, guys. That is how you do the garter stitch. We were talking about garter stitch. That is how you knit the granite stitch, and that's our 4 rows. So as you can see, really pretty stitch, really drapey. I hope you found this video helpful. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. And you can also follow me over on TikTok, and I also have pages on Facebook and Instagram under boho_stitchery. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.